What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Let's go. That's right, Tyree. Let's go, baby. Big weekend, big weekend. Let's uh let's just wait just like a minute or two, let everybody uh let the algorithm do its job, get everyone on before we start talking any football or real football for this weekend. So, interesting situation tonight. I'll let you guys know here in a second. Tyree, how's it going, man? Mike in. Mike in. Mike, what's your last name? I have an uncle with those initials, Mike in, Mike Nolan. Um, I doubt that's you, but wouldn't that be interesting? Tiffany, oh, what's up, Tiffany? Marcus is here. Hey, guys. Nardella. Bitcoin motorist, that's right, man. That's right. Melanda just told me just now. She told me that you're going to be there. So that's awesome. And guys, what Bitcoin Motors is referring to is the Rams game tomorrow against the Bucks. So, and I'll tell you guys all about that here in a second. So it looks like we're still waiting. Okay. I didn't really, I should have posted this thing earlier, but I wasn't sure about how this was going to work um, because of this weekend, which I'll let you guys know what's going on here in a minute or two. Alan, I missed you, man. Where you been? And how are you doing, by the way? I was wondering about you. Uh, I was like, whatever happened to Alan Washburn? And I hadn't seen you on or anything yet, spoken or anything. So I was wondering where you've been, but I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. I know you were going through a lot back when we were communicating quite a bit. Yeah, Bitcoin. I looked up the situation, and that doesn't take effect at the stadium until October. So we're good to go on that. It's a good thing too, because I probably wouldn't have done that or wouldn't have been able to. Tapasio, you wish to hear my evaluation of the Rams as a team? Yeah, okay, that's right. Um, a lot of you might know my feelings on their head coach. So I not a fan, not a fan, and I of course, like always, I always say this, but you have to because if you don't preface your comments or your criticisms with this in this day and age, everyone's going to assume you hate that person. Uh, so you have to say, I don't hate Sean McVay. I have nothing against him. Why would I hate him? I've never met the person. Don't even know who he is, really. He's never affected my life. It's not like some people in this world who I've never met but are affecting my life negatively, who I can freely say I hate them. But Sean McVay is not one of them, and neither is any football player. But you always have to say that before you criticize somebody. That's the world we're living in now. But I think he's extremely overrated. I really do. And you guys have to understand about the Rams, all right? The thing about the Rams is that they went through a lot of bad crap, that a lot of it was self-inflicted. So if you stay with me for a second, let's go back to St. Louis. So when the Rams were in St. Louis, the they never recovered from the post Kurt Warner. Okay, so people say giving up Tom Brady for the Patriots is the worst front office decision, right? That's what people are saying is that you should never let him leave the team. Now, I don't know if it's the worst front office decision of letting Tom Brady go because I have another kind of I have we have the gift of hindsight. Hindsight tells us that Tom was hated more than Belichick by the fan base and by just the football world in general. It seemed like he got he always got less credit than Bill. Everyone gave Bill credit. So Tom kind of needed this step out and do his own thing. But also, if Tom stays, well, last year is another 2019 disaster. Okay, so it's going to be another wild card or divisional game loss, and I think that if Belichick and Brady stay together, by then they're going to hate each other's guts, and they're not going to be able to salvage that relationship ever again. And I think that's where it was heading. It was heading towards that, and I think Tom leaving basically made it to where that didn't happen. I think it saved it. I think it's kind of like when a couple they get divorced just right before because they see the differences coming, they see the problem coming, but they have children and they don't want to hate each other. They don't want it to turn into where they're just trying to kill each other around the kids. They want to be able to stand each other and build off of the good things that they did, which was having the children and the memories and everything that they had. So sometimes that happens. I think maybe that look in hindsight, like I said, you couldn't have ever seen this coming probably, but in hindsight, I think it actually worked out um, okay. Especially now, like we got Mac uh, at the Patriots, and we're starting a new thing, and Tom is having a lot of fun. It just seems like maybe that this was the best outcome. Now this year, if Tom was still on the Patriots, him and Tom would probably hate each other by now. And even if they did spend money in free agency, like they did, do they get Tom the players he wants? And what if Bill ignores Tom again about what players he wants? Then that's going to boil over, and then Tom's not going to want to. It's just going to be a big mess. So even the money thing might not have worked. Not only that, Tom's salary is 25, 30 million, depending on the situation or the contract would have been. So that's even less that Bill had to spend this year. As where the Bucks had already managed their situation pretty well. And let's not forget that the Bucks drafted pretty good. Belichick doesn't really draft Pro Bowlers that much, at least not in the last, I don't know, 7 years, something like that. But anyway, was that a bad decision to let Tom go? I would have never let a Hall of Fame quarter ever. I never would let them go unless they're just complete garbage. But I would never let a guy like Tom go personally. But looking back on, I think it's okay. I think the more egregious violation is actually when the Colts let Peyton Manning walk out the door. Peyton was definitely not done. Okay, come on. I mean, really? And you let him walk. I would have taken that number one pick that you had for Andrew Luck. That thing was worth everything. You could have fleeced any team. The Redskins, for example, you could have fleeced them because look what the Rams fleeced the Redskins just to get RG3 at number two. Well, imagine what you could have gotten from the Redskins for the number one pick for Andrew Luck or any other team, basically, that was in the top 5, top 10 that needed a quarterback. You could have used all those picks and gotten and built around Peyton Manning. Imagine that. Imagine that. Not just picks, but players. You could, so I just think the effect and the outcome, I think knowing what we know now with what happened and how Andrew Luck, they ruined his career. I think you keep Peyton Manning, you let him take care of everything. Get rid of Ryan Grigson, whatever. The coaching really don't matter. We've seen with Peyton Manning that the coaching is kind of irrelevant, but the general manager is important. So you kind of let him take care of that. So I think that's a big move. But to get to my point, I know I kind of went off on the side here, but there's a point to it. The point is the Rams never recovered after getting rid of Kurt Warner. And I think that is one of the stupidest decisions in their history. After Kurt Warner left and they started sucking, then they were oddly good for like a year, but not really good, not great or anything. They were okay. Okay, they had like years where they were okay. Like Mark Bulger did a pretty decent job at times, but then they, of course, got the horrible head coach Jeff Fisher, and that's when all the picks that they got, they didn't really make anything happen. Sam Bradford didn't pan out really, and by then the owner a total douchebag. He had his eye on leaving St. Louis. He was wanting to leave St. Louis. He went to LA. That's where he wanted to go the whole time. So he kept tanking the team. He didn't even care anymore. Just so they'd suck bad enough so the NFL would say, okay, we'll go ahead and let him leave. Comes back to LA, still has Jeff Fisher, finally fires Jeff Fisher, gets a new coach. But what do? They spend like madmen. All of a sudden, the Rams start deciding to buy players, buy crazy amounts of players, right? Now, yeah, they got Aaron Donald, and they'd have to do that, but they ended up having to pay him anyway. But the point is that they started spending like crazy. That happens to coincide with Sean McVay. When they went to the Super Bowl, who was their defensive coordinator? Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips is one of the only coaches who really has Tom Brady's number, who really knows how to mess with Tom. And that's why that Rams game was 13-3, okay, as far as the Patriots offense is concerned. What have they really done? They're okay. They're pretty good for a team that's, loaded, all right, across the board. I mean, they spent like crazy for this team, right? They're always going after high free agents and trading for guys and stuff like that. So is it McVay? How much is it McVay? Let's see what McVay has produced. McVay ruined Jared Goff, okay? He ruined Jared Goff. He micromanaged Jared Goff so badly. Okay, so now Jared has been kicked to the Detroit Lions, basically the NFL hell. Okay, if this was Dante's Inferno, Detroit Lions is the ninth circle of hell. And all of a sudden, it's like he was the bad apple. So it's like Matthew Stafford comes in. Now they're 2-0, and all of a sudden Matthew Stafford is the big hero, and it looks like Jared Goff was the problem. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. And now McVay looks like it's like, okay, not to get political on you guys, but it's like the Afghanistan situation, okay? They went in, they screwed it up, they completely destroyed Afghanistan. They left all of our equipment there. It's the worst pullout, it's the worst military blunder and a most embarrassing military blunder in American history. And yet they're strutting around like they accomplished something by saying, oh, well, we may have sank the Titanic, but look at all those lifeboats we provided for you. And that's kind of like how the Rams are right now, as far as I'm concerned, with the Jared Goff thing. Sean McVay made this. He destroyed Jared Goff. And after he destroyed Jared Goff, he sends him to Detroit, brings in a veteran who he doesn't have to tell what to do because Matthew Stafford already knows what to do because he developed that already. He's been in the league forever. And now you act like you're some kind of hero. And Jared Goff is now looking like the bad guy. He's like, wait a minute. Jared's thinking, when I was in LA, my first year, my rookie year, Jeff Fisher was my coach. And my second year, since then, it's been Sean McVay, who you wouldn't let me call plays. You wouldn't take the training wheels off. You wouldn't let me expand. You would never let me really test my abilities and see what I'm capable of. You never let that happen. And then the moment that you found out that you're a micromanagement and you're insane desired because you want to be on the field, because you really want to be a quarterback, but you can't. But you try to live vicariously through me on the field. And when that backfired, like it always does, you send me to Detroit. What the hell? Really? Come on. It's just, so yes, I believe Sean McVay is overrated. So all that to get to that point, I don't think he's done anything to prove to me that he is a great coach. I think the accolades he gets, and I think the attention he gets, and all these idiot guys who get hired as coaches who were like 19 years old and don't even have facial hair. Some of them haven't hit puberty. Just because they were buddies with Sean McVay, they get head coaching jobs. Come on. What would Matt LaFleur be doing if Aaron Rodgers wasn't his quarterback? Okay. What about the guy in Cincinnati? You think that's ever going to work out? Come on. It's just, I'm sure I'm forgetting one of them. There's a bunch, but This whole hysteria over Sean McVay is so overblown. Do you guys watch the Rams Patriots mic'd up? Did you see Sean McVay at the beginning talking to Belichick? Oh my God, that was embarrassing. That was hard to watch. All right, and I know everybody was like, "Oh, look how respectful he is and how he, dude, you don't do that before a Super Bowl. You don't go over there and kiss the ass of the winningest coach in NFL history, Super Bowl winningest coach in NFL history. Really? The guy already has your number. He already has something on you just because of who he is. You already know that there's something about him. You don't go over there and kiss his ass and then, dude, that was rough. And that told me a lot about McVay. You want to do that after the game? If you want to do that in a meeting later on at the coaches meeting or something, go for it, okay? But you do that right before the Super Bowl? That was hard to watch. I was like, my God, he wouldn't even leave. Belichick was feeling awkward. Belichick was like trying to pull away. He still wouldn't let it go. Man, if I played for the Rams, that would have pissed me off. That would have really pissed me off. Not that the coaches meet. I know they do that before a game, okay? But that the level of ass kissing. If I had saw that mic'd up as a Rams player later on, that would have infuriated me. But anyway, I think Sean McVay is just a child. I think he's a child that's got too much control over a franchise and has not proven anything really. And the Rams had a big pocketbook and they went and they spent. So let's see what happens here. Let's see. I've never seen McVay make adjustments. I've never seen him uh, go to do really anything that's proven all the accolades. Now, again, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying that he is overrated, meaning the level of praise he gets versus the what he's actually proven doesn't it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay? It's very similar to how say Aaron Rodgers is overrated. People translate that to, Aaron Von Allen thinks that Aaron Rodgers sucks. Really? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just said that the level of praise he gets is it weighs high. It's higher than the actual production and the accomplishments and what he gets. He is treated as if he is a 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's how he's treated, and he's not. And that means that's overrated. Okay, doesn't mean that Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback, and it doesn't mean that I'm saying Sean McVay sucks. Just means he is not. He is not even in my top 10 coaches I would take right now in the league, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of bad coaches. So. Tapasio, is that a pretty good evaluation of the Rams? Okay, so the Rams are basically one of those weird teams that if they've got a good game plan and it works for them that day, they can win a game. If it all goes to crap, okay. The Bucks, talk about overrated coach. The Bucks have one too. His name is Bruce Arians. The only problem with Bruce Arians is that he's got too much control during the game. And that doesn't bode well. And also the preparation. Like so, in any game, no matter who the opponent is, I'm always expecting Bruce Arians to do something dumb. But preparation to go out west, to go from Tampa Bay to Los Angeles, to keep those guys focused. Um, I don't know. I think if there's a game that the Bucks can lose, it's this one, just because of the circumstances. If this game was in Tampa Bay, maybe I might think differently. Don't forget the Rams beat them last year too. Just it's a matchup thing. It's a weird situation, but I expect a very good game tomorrow. Speaking of that, speaking of that, so tonight Milena is holding me a small get together here at our place for my birthday. So um, I have some very close friends coming over, and my brother Stephen and his wife are coming here, and they're bringing two of the sons, Thomas Brady Allen, and the youngest boy who's named after me, Aaron Leonidas Allen. And my brother is taking me to the Bucks Rams game tomorrow for my birthday, so we're getting to go to that. Uh, uh, I just found out today that Bitcoin Motorist, one of our moderators here, is going to be at that game. So um, I look forward to getting to see him again. I haven't seen him since I was in New England in 2019. So I think the Bucks Rams game is game of the week. So you should probably get it no matter where you are. Ryan Dyer says, Jared, I look like Ryan Gosling. Remember the Titans golf, doesn't he? My gosh, if Ryan Gosling was just younger, like if he was just now getting into acting, and there was ever a NFL movie about all different players, Ryan Gosling would play Jared Goff, and people would think that that was really Jared Goff. Marcus says, I never went for that. Jared Goff is better than people give him credit for. Yeah, good, because he is. I think he is. And imagine Jared Goff in New Orleans or in Kansas City. Hell, even in somewhere with stability, just some kind of stability, maybe even in New England or Baltimore or something like that. Um, and that's what I'm saying. There's some guys who are not going to be really anything. They just don't have that it factor. I think Jared Goff. You know who Jared Goff reminds me of? I think of Drew Bledsoe. Okay, Jared Goff reminds me of Drew Bledsoe, and I think Jared could be that. And make no mistake, Drew Bledsoe was not a Hall of Fame or anything like that, but he was a very good quarterback for a real long time. So, oh, Nightwalker sends a happy birthday to me, 50 euros. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That'll go a long way. That'll go a long way tomorrow because, funnily enough, a beer and a Coke at a Rams game is actually 50 euros. So, thank you. So, I'll tell my brother Steven, I'll say, Steven, this one's on Nightwalker. So, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Shane, thank you. Here's the great thing, guys, about this game tomorrow. I I was uh I was gifted to get to see uh Tom Brady in New England by Jared, Shaq, and Mr. A. And the only thing missing that night was Gronk because he was retired. So tomorrow I get to see Brady and Gronk. So I get to see Gronk, you know, finally. I mean, it would have been nice if I saw him as a Patriot, but hey, I'll take it. Um, and AB, although I think, actually, no. Is AB still sick? Actually, I didn't even look. We've been so uh, trying to prepare for the get together tonight and my family coming in that I didn't even think. Uh, do you guys know if he off of COVID protocol? Is he going to play? Okay, that's what I was worried about. Dang it. Just a second. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, that, okay. So no AB, but that's okay. Elliot says, hang on. Elliot says, yeah, there's also a difference in the amount of criticism that Rodgers gets compared to what Brady gets. Example, nobody crucified Rodgers for getting blown out by the Saints. Yeah, and okay. Yes, Dave. Yes. Okay, if AB is out, it's Scotty Miller time. Okay? Scotty Miller. This is a guy that let's see, was it last week's game? I kept yelling. I was like, why are you playing him? Why aren't you throwing it to him? It was in the second half. I couldn't understand. I was like getting frustrated. It may have been week one. I can't remember. Time's gone by too fast. But yeah, I expect something out of Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson. Tyler can make a play, guys. He can make a play. People don't, we forget about him, but he's got something. So it was week one that I was bitching about that. Yeah, okay. So now it's time. So let's do it. So my prediction for the game for the Rams Bucks is, I'll tell you what, man. Again, I think this is a game that the Bucks can lose. It's just the situation. The last 2 weeks, I've seen them lose their focus at times, especially when they think they're ahead and they think they're up and they're doing good, and then they kind of, and then Tom has to like wake them back up. I am not convinced that this defense is as elite as people think they are. Matthew Stafford is a different thing than last year with Goff because like I said, McVay didn't let Goff make decisions. So if it wasn't decided before the 15-second cutoff, the defense could take advantage of that. And they still lost that game. Now we've got Matthew Stafford who can make those decisions on his own. I think the Bucks are still going to win because I think Tom does not want to go into Foxborough with a loss. But this is going to be a very tough game, and it's going to be very high scoring. I think Bucks 41-38. I think at the end of the game, a field goal will be the difference maker. I'm not saying a field goal will be the last point, but I think that 3 points will be the spread there. So look for a high scoring game tomorrow, 41-38 Bucks. But I wouldn't put money on that. This is I would call it a trap game because trap game is when you go and play a far inferior team that everyone's betting that will lose, but actually can actually win. But it's not a game I would confidently put money on if you're doing that. So yeah, what happened to AB? Well, I don't know. Somehow everybody on Tampa Bay is vaccinated. They bragged about that, but somehow AB has got COVID. So I'm not a I'm not an expert in these things, but I don't know. I do know that I was given a vaccine when I went to school. I was given, vaccines for the measles and for smallpox, I think, or some crap like that. Um, I think maybe TB, something. I don't know. We're all giving it, right, when we're going to school. And I never got it because a vaccine prevents you from getting it, right? So I don't know really what this is. I don't know if you want to call it a vaccine or a treatment or whatever, but I'm not, who knows? I don't understand all the details really about AB's situation. I don't understand how it works. So um, who cares? He's out. And like we said, Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller time. That's all that matters. So Jalen, if the Bucks win, they're definitely going undefeated. You say this is the game. This is the game that I know it's early, but this is the game. I look on the schedule, and this is the one that trips them up. And this this is the weird one, the one that jumps out at you that like To be quite honest with you, I thought another weird one was Dallas, week one. And the reason I thought that could have been a Tampa Bay loss is because week one you really don't know who you are, and that's for any team. You got to get back into the swing of things. And so I thought if somebody was going to get them and knock them off, it was going to be it could happen in week one. And Dallas played admirably, and you saw what it took to win that game. So it almost happened. As long as the Bucks are actually getting better as time goes on, uh, and that's the mistake, not a mistake, but that's kind of what happened to the '07 Patriots. If you guys remember that season, we started out phenomenal, and then by like the beginning towards the middle of the season, maybe a little after midseason, it just started kind of, you know, like games got harder, they got closer. Even in the playoffs, we weren't winning convincingly. We didn't dominate the Jaguars or the Chargers, so it's not that shocking, I guess, about there was a decline there. But if you're starting out kind of sloppy and you're still winning, but each game there's like a trajectory, kind of like last year when they finished the last, what is it, 8, 9 games undefeated. They actually went up, and if that's what they're doing, then the chances of going undefeated actually increase towards the end. So I guess if they're going to do it, that's the direction you want to go in. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's too hard. I think um, so. No, I do not believe that Tom Brady got vaccinated. No, he found a way around it. He found a workaround. That dude won't put a tomato in his body. He won't drink anything that like he's like psycho about this stuff. You really think he's gonna do that? I mean, let's be real here. Come on, he found a workaround. Come on, the average person can find a workaround from this easily. You don't think a guy worth him and his wife worth $500 million can't find a workaround for this crap? Come on. You think there will be a last minute interception? For who? Oh, hey, Megan. Ha, Megan, what are you doing? That's my niece. Megan, did you know your father's going to be here in a few hours? In fact, he'll probably be here in about 2 hours. Glad to see you on here. You have 35,000 subs on TT now. TikTok? TikTok? I don't know how to use it. Or I don't know what to do with it. Um, I'll have to check it out. So, yes, Luke, it is my birthday. Well, my birthday's Monday. My birthday's September 27th, but everybody's coming in because it's the weekend, so we're doing that early. But yeah, technically it's Monday. Now, Tomorrow night, guys, because we're going to the game, the post game show won't be until later in the evening because we'd have to get home, and then there's the Sunday night game. So the post game show won't be until very late. It basically will be the same thing as if the Bucks or the Patriots were playing on Sunday Night Football, um, that kind of thing. So think of it like that. Just want to give you guys a heads up. Shut up, Nightwalker. Oh man, boomer alert. Nice. No, I just don't know what TikTok's for. I, 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 I'm not making fun of it. Um, I don't really get what I'm supposed to do on there. Isn't it like young people who do little videos and they chop it up like that movie The Ring when the girl's walking out of the TV and they're all like crap and stupid crap like that to like a beat. That shit. Isn't that kind of what TikTok is? I really don't see what I'm going to do on TikTok like that. Plus, isn't it owned by the Chinese? So that's nice and random. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Tyree. Elliot. There we go. Elliot sends a $5 super chat. He says it was that Ravens game that the 2007 Patriots started to show some cracks in the armor. If it's one game they should have lost, it was that one. I know. I know. Elliot, I remember that game very well. I remember, I think it was Bart Scott who threw the penalty flag into the stadium. I don't know how we survived that game. That one, that's the one that kind of like opened my eyes to, wow, we better, get our stuff together here. And then the Eagles was very similar, but in retrospect, Baltimore winning that game probably would have been good. I think it would have corrected some flaws that we never corrected until the end of the year, uh, or at all. I mean, all the that last those flaws lasted all the way to the end of the year, and the Giants made us pay for that. But yeah, and that's the thing again about the Ravens. The Ravens were record-wise they were garbage that year. They weren't very good, and but yet they were causing trouble. They're always causing trouble. Never think that the Ravens are a walkover ever. I don't. Anytime I see Ravens on the schedule, I'm like, okay, this is not going to be easy. I don't care who the quarterback is. Don't care what the situation is. The Ravens, for whatever reason, they're just they're a weird team. So you guys remember if you are talking to me, just put um, at Aaron or at Von Allen Sports because sometimes it looks like you are having an internal conversation, and I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to be responding to that. So yeah, Luke, that 10-0 start was fire. Chad, what's up, man? Okay, so thank you, Chad. That will segue us to our next topic: Patriots and Saints. Okay, I'll do the Chargers Chiefs next, Marcus. Well, um, I I don't like this matchup for the Patriots really. Um, I don't know what to make of the Saints yet. I'm always going to assume that they're going to be pretty good because they've got a great coach. If you've got either a great coach or a great quarterback, you are going to be um, somebody that I take seriously when I look at it. If I was to bet on a game or whether I was going to try to predict something, um, Jameis Winston, we'll kind of see what what the deal is there. But damn, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. Let me think about it. Yeah, you were shorthanded. McNair was injured if he was playing that entire season. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bart Scott kept running his mouth the whole time. So regarding Chiefs and Chargers, the Chiefs are going to win that. Um, they're going to they're just going to bomb the hell out of the Chargers and all day long, and the Chargers aren't going to be able to keep up. Unfortunately, I hate saying that, but that's what's coming. So, um, but back to the Saints and Patriots. The thing is I hate saying this, but I think we're going to lose that game. Um, if you look back on it, playing the Saints has never been easy for Bill, and it took Tom's pulling that crazy game out of his ass at the last minute that we should have lost. You know that game should have been over after the missed fourth down and after the interception that he was trying to hit Julian Edelman, and then after all of that, Drew made the mistake of not throwing the ball away, and he took the sack from Chandler Jones, and that got Tom back the ball again. And then they finally got into what is essentially field goal range, but then Tom was able to hit Kimbrell Tompkins in the end zone um, for the touchdown and the win. That if you don't have Tom Brady that day, that's a bad loss. So there's something about the coaching matchup there that Sean Payton is able to kind of deliver some confusion. And then if you go back to, was it 2009 when we got completely destroyed by them? It was embarrassing. I think that was on a Monday night. It was a primetime game. It was either Sunday night football or Monday night football. But we got completely just embarrassed. Now that was the Saints Super Bowl run that year, but still, it's just something about Sean Payton. It seems to be something about him, and I just think that even with Jameis Winston, I don't think Jameis Winston is terrible, but um, and Bill maybe could pick him off. Let's hope, because he will throw some shit up for grabs. We know that, but I'm just not sure about the defense right now. And if the Dolphins can score the way they did on us, don't you think the Saints can? I mean, that's kind of I need to see something where we really overcome it. And Mac's gonna have to throw tomorrow. He's gonna have to throw. Like uh, it's time. I'm not saying that you have to give him the keys of the kingdom, but tomorrow's game plan better be let's go out there and let's you know let's put up a lot of points because the Saints are going to be doing that. And that's what they do. That's their whole MO. So, but I'll tell you this much. If we beat the Saints, I don't care what people say, oh, they're not the same anymore, whatever. Whatever. It's been 2 weeks, okay? I think that's a solid win. If we can beat the Saints, I think that's a solid win. I think that's a good omen. But if we lose, and then we've got the Bucks the next week, yeah. If we lose to the Saints and then we lose to the Bucks a week later, that's 1-3. Do you understand what that's going to do? That's a crappy situation. So I hope we do win. So let's hope Josh McDaniels doesn't go full Josh McDaniels and he just kind of says, okay, this is what we've got to do. Remember, the Patriots, we've always been about game plan specific to each team. Yeah, that didn't really work against Miami, did it? It didn't really pan out. So the Jets, are we really going to talk about the Jets? Okay, so no, I'm not going to talk about the Jets. Why? It's the same thing as when Aaron Rodgers goes around beating his chest. Oh, yes, I told off all of my detractors, all those trolls. Ha, got you because I beat the Detroit Lions. Really? Really, Aaron? Okay. So you got your ass embarrassed by the Saints. And in week 2, you beat the Lions. The Lions, who are in total rebuild mode. Again, they've been in rebuild mode uh, for what, 50 years? So, but they, again, new coach, new general management, all that. And you go out and beat them and you're bragging about it. Okay, sorry. No, I'm not going to brag about beating the Jets. So I just don't know this team yet. And I need to see more. And this is exactly why I tell you guys, I don't bet on games in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season because you just don't know who these are. And now I may move it to first 4 weeks because there was not a fourth preseason game. So now you've kind of got to push it back even more because these people, they don't know who they are. These teams don't know who they are. We don't know who they are. If they don't know who they are, then we don't know who they are. And if you're going to beat New England, you're going to beat them in September. Right now, with a rookie quarterback, with no Stephon Gilmore in the secondary. That's how you do it. And again, if the Saints can do that to Aaron Rodgers, why can't they do it to Mac Jones? So we'll find out. But if they can beat the Saints, my gosh, listen, nothing would make me happier than the Patriots winning tomorrow, the Bucks winning tomorrow, and then they both go in off of and then the game in week 4, Bucks Patriots, is them both coming off a win. That is, could you imagine the hype around that? I mean, the hype is already crazy, but the actual energy level that is going to be going into that game if that happens, that's just going to add even more to it. So. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. The 2017 game. Why did I? That's weird. Why did I forget about that? Yeah, yeah, that's right. We beat them pretty bad that day. Oh, that's weird. That one, I forgot about that one. There's so many. Okay. Um, yeah. Well, we had Brady though. So, but uh, but like I said, anyway, going back to coaching, if you got a great coach like that, you don't assume that you've got the victory. So. Like I felt like we should have beaten Miami. Honestly, I have respect for Brian Flores, but I still think that was a game that coaching should have got us, and we didn't. Obviously, Jets. I did feel fine with that. That was like okay, whatever. I mean, I know it's a division game, but at the end of the day, I wasn't losing sleep over it or anything. But this is different. You know, we play this. We play Sean Payton, or we play Andy Reid, or you play uh, John Harbaugh. You kind of are like, okay, what's what do they have for us? What do they have ready? What do they have prepared? You kind of, you know, have one eye open on that before the game. So yeah, Luke, again, that's a matchup thing. And for all we know, the Carolina Panthers could end up being like a great team, although they lost Christian McCaffrey for so who knows? But I'm sorry, guys. One moment. Let me close this window. There is there's smoke that's coming into the window that's causing me to cough, and now I hear a fire truck. I don't know what's going on. Well, if the building's on fire, we'll all go up together, won't we? Okay. Well, it's something because it's the kind of smoke that gets in your throat, like back of your throat. All right, sorry about that. So Milena couldn't be on tonight because her and a friend of mine are out, getting things for the party tonight. So she sends her regards. Thank you, Megan. I love you too, kiddo. Ryan Dyer, stay safe from forest fires. What didn't work? Oh, yeah, no worries. Just your average burning building living in the US of A. Nothing to see here. It's well, it's California, so who knows, right? There's these uh there's these idiots who cook. Their neighbors. I can't figure out if they're under us or next to us or what, but they can't cook. They can't cook, but they cook every day, and the smoke comes in, and about a week ago, all the fire alarms in here go off, and we're freaking out. Okay, so we, a lot of you guys probably know we have three cats. So me and Milena have a fire drill situation because when you're living in a major city, and especially in like a building in West Hollywood, for example, you know that you're living around a bunch of morons, and these morons are going to cook. And when morons play with fire, stupid things happen. So we're prepared for that, and also for like earthquake and anything like that. But when you've got three cats, you've got to be able to gather them together. So the fire alarms are going off. Milena's job is to get all of our stuff, like passports and documents and everything. So that's in one spot. She grabs that, anything that we might need. My job is to gather the cats, which is a much tougher job. I had all of them and all their cases, boom, 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 so fast, ready to go. We were all ready to go at the door. She goes and checks the other apartment, see if anything's going on. Comes back, we're ready to take off, and it was nothing. That was just idiots were cooking, but their cooking was so bad that it came into our apartment and set off the alarm, but it came through the walls. It didn't come through the actual uh, from the obvious places, so we couldn't figure out at first why it started. So for all I knew, there was a fire next door and the walls are on fire, and you really don't know what's happening. But yeah, so if anything, we learned that our fire preparedness, earthquake preparedness is pretty damn good, because I had those cats, and each one their own individual pet taxi. I'd say in under 4 minutes. So pretty proud of myself. And it never rains here. So Hollywood ruined your pizza rolls. I don't know what that means. Is there a worse state to live in California? No. Although although I think Oregon's probably working on it. I think they're trying to catch up. I think they're trying to, like, you know, get the trophy of worst state in the United States. But right now, no, there is no worse state than California. They fail across the board and everything. So just everything is bad here. I can't think of anything. Yeah. So yeah, and when I say bad, or when you say bad, are you referring to, like, the state naturally, or like things to do, the weather, or are we talking like man-made crap, like self-inflicted stuff, like policy and things like that? Because those are two different things. As far as weather goes, it's okay. I mean, I prefer that it rains, but it never rains here ever. If it does, I don't get to see it. I haven't seen it, or it's not noticeable. But it never rains here. But I guess most people, that's probably not a problem. I guess in the state, there's always something to do. You got two football teams, two baseball teams, two basketball teams, and two hockey teams. So you got plenty of sports if that's what you like. There's a lot to do as far as that goes. But day to day living, as far as like living life, um, yeah, it's annoying. It's very annoying. Like I know states that, like Florida and Arkansas, for example, or parts of Arkansas, especially where I'm from in Arkansas. The one thing I don't like is the mosquitoes. There's, the bugs and stuff like that. Like, I can't stand that. Um, but if it wasn't for that, everything else I like. I like, the people there are nice, and I like how things are, and I like the natural look of Arkansas itself and stuff like that. But if you go to Florida, I heard that there's mosquitoes there too and all kinds of crap. So it just depends. But anyway, A. Fields lives in Tennessee. He says our problems are animals, bugs, and people. Not sure how animals are a problem. That's strange. Bugs suck, absolutely. And people, it depends on where you're at. Here, I live amongst the most close-minded, radical, psychotic people you could ever meet. Like, crazy people. Like, I'm talking nut job crazy. You could walk into a store with a gun, waving a gun around, and they won't be as freaked out as if you walked in there without a mask on. Let me tell you that. Okay, these people are nuts. So yeah, a lot of people I know here are leaving. They're going to southern states. They're going to Texas, Tennessee, Florida, um, places like that. So anyway, um, yeah, I don't think I'm going to burn alive today. That's good. Unless my fire alarm goes off again, I'll look into it. So, I know, Elliot. I know. I completely agree. Let me put it this way: I'm having a birthday party tonight, and the people that were invited are very specific. I have a lot of friends here, a lot of acquaintances here, and so does Milena. We've been here for a long time, but there's only certain people that you can really get to know and really be yourself and be able to just be yourself and not get crucified for it for whatever reason. So yeah, I love animals. I would love to live out in the country or something in the middle of nowhere with animals everywhere. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be like a dream come true for me. Thank you, Wish and B. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting to go to the game, uh, thanks to my brother. So he's a good dude. So he can't believe he did that. So it's my job to find parking tomorrow. So we'll see. Miss you too, kiddo. Yeah, well, snakes are the only animal I don't like. I mean, I hate them or anything. I just they freak me out a bit. Um, but anything else it doesn't bother me. Not even spiders or anything. I'm not bugged by that. I don't like insects though, because they get in your food. I can't stand that crap. It just drives me nuts. So that's don't really have too much of an insect problem in West Hollywood. What's up, Zach? You've been gone for a long time. Where you been, man? How you doing? You enjoying your Cowboys right now? They're not too bad, huh? Yeah, there are police helicopters and stuff. But a police helicopter can sound like it's right next to you, but it's actually looking in a different part of town. We don't get that a lot here in my area, but like in North Hollywood and south of here, it happens, and you can hear the helicopter. It sounds like they're right on you, but actually they're circling a wide circle, but they're actually focused like farther away than it seems. But yeah, you hear it a lot. It's pretty weird. And a lot of times you see military aircraft or something. I mean, I'm assuming it's military aircraft because it's low, it's loud, goes fast, and it's only in the middle of the night. So I can only assume that's what it is. You can't actually see them though. They're very very good at that. So oh well, if you live near USC, that's why. Sorry about that. That smoke's back again. Yeah, at USC, that's not a good area actually. The college is not in a very good area at all. So I better stop coughing, or the authorities around here will come arrest me. They'll think I have the 19. I wish I was joking. So you guys mind if I talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second? Can I just? I mean, we've said all we need to say about the Bucks and Rams, right? Unless you guys have a specific question. We've said everything about the Patriots Saints. There's really not else much to say. I mean, if we're like in week 8, I've got a lot to say. But weeks going into week 3, there's really like we got to see here. We got to see what's coming. But there is something that bugs the hell out of me. And Tiffany, yes. All right. Yes, Tiffany. Aaron Rodgers rant incoming. Here we go. I was kind of pulling back the reins on him. Reins, not whips. Okay, let's get that straight. Reins on a horse. It's not a whip. Okay, but I was pulling back the reins on Aaron Rodgers. But now I would like to whip him. So, and not in a good way. But this guy annoys me. I mean, I was pulling back on him because I started to kind of, okay, he's a great player and all that, but maybe we're too hard on him a little bit. I started pulling back on, especially when I saw his reaction to Chris Sims and how freaked out he was by it. You know. Nightwalker, you're awesome, dude. Night Nightwalker just sent me another 50 euros for my birthday. That's 100 euros, dude. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much, man. He says for beers for your brother too. Didn't know it was that expensive. Yeah, see, that's how they get you. They only charge you like $500 for a ticket, but the secret is when you get there, the concessions cost you about 1,200. So they're smart like that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You're awesome. So I am too hard on him? Not anymore. No, no, not anymore. Come on, Pickle Dick. You know that Aaron Rodgers is an insufferable asshole. All right, come on, man. All right, so I was pulling back on him a bit until now, until this year. Even when he was gone, playing midlife crisis with millennials in Hawaii, doing his little I think I want to be a musician and I'm going to grow my hair out. I'm going to look like I'm homeless. In fact, I swear I saw Aaron Rodgers, you know, over there on Skid Row the other day. Could have been him. I don't know. Could have been. He also could have been the guy, carjacking around here lately. Can't tell the difference really. But he's going through this whole early midlife crisis situation. And even that, I kind of thought it was funny, but still didn't take away from him as a player as far as I'm concerned. But now he's just an insufferable asshole, just a complete douchebag. Complete douchebag. All right. So after week 1, he sucks. He sucks the big donkey dick. All right. Like massive. Okay. Everybody rightfully criticizes him. Why would you criticize him? Normally, I'm not on the media side, almost at never. But this case, they were right to criticize him. Why? Why were they right to criticize him only after week 1? We always say after week 1. Okay, here's why. Because while your teammates were practicing, while your teammates were in training camp, While your backup quarterback was getting reps, you were cliff diving with a bunch of TikTokers in Hawaii. All right? No offense, Megan. I don't mean you. Okay? But then he comes back, or back and forth. I don't know the timeline of when he's doing it all. But he hosts Jeopardy. Okay, fine. But then you come back later, and then you stink it up in week 1. That looks like it's directly because you weren't there. So yes, the criticism is warranted in that case, that specific case. All right, fine. Week 2, he beats the Lions. How come every time Aaron Rodgers needs a big game, it's always a high profile game, meaning on Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday night, and it's always against a shitty team? Always. It's like it's Detroit or Chicago. Sorry, Luke, but your team sucks. Okay. Or it's just always a garbage team, and he lights it up on them. And then he actually goes onto Pat McAfee. Okay. Pat McAfee, the place where you get your ass kissed more than anywhere. Okay. A professional athlete can get their ass kissed on First Take and get their ass kissed on Undisputed. Sometimes they go after them a little bit. But if you want your butt just royally massaged, okay, and felt up, go on the Pat McAfee show. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, he'll actually give you a colonoscopy. Okay? And that's what Pat was doing. And he wasn't giving that colonoscopy to Aaron Rodgers with his hands. He was doing it with his mouth. All right? Sorry, but that's the truth. So he goes on to Pat McAfee, where it's a safe haven. Now imagine if I could, every time I screwed up in life, I would just go and report to my friends only. That would be wonderful, right? It'd be wonderful if you didn't have to face anybody else who might criticize you. That'd be hell yeah. Imagine you at work, you guys are at work, and every time you screw up, it's your best friends who are the judgment on you. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So he goes to Pat McAfee, and he actually says, the media is just making a big deal out of everything, and they do that to get their blue check mark on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and they do that to get clicks. He's talking about the major media, obviously, because the indie medias we don't get that stuff, right? So he's talking about the major media. By the way, that includes Pat, ironically. So he's going on this rant about how he showed them. You showed us. You showed us, like, you lit up Detroit. Detroit. I mean, that's like being in a senior in high school, and you're like the biggest dude in class, and you're feeling like you want to prove yourself. So you go into the back of the class and you pick on that kid who's actually 4 years younger than everybody else, but he's a child prodigy, so he looks like a child. And you kick his ass, and then you go around saying, "Ho ho, look at me! I am tough. I told everybody I'm tough." Yeah, good job, Aaron. You beat up the Lions. Okay, but the week before, you got your ass destroyed by a team that a lot of people don't even think are that good. I think they're pretty good, but a lot of people don't even think that they're that good. So the point is, let's stay consistent with what the media thinks. So you're chest bumping about beating Detroit. Good job. But that's not all. You're talking junk about the media while being on Pat McAfee, who is one of the biggest shows in the country. That won't criticize you, that won't dare to say anything against you at all. Nothing. And you want to talk crap? Really? The dude is a fraud. All right? He's an absolute total fraud. He's fake. He is as fake as a $3 bill. Okay? Listen. He sat there and talked about how he doesn't, well, the people just want attention and they make up stuff and they use my name for their own gain, that crap like that. And he didn't say all that in that one episode. He said it over the last few weeks combined. But that's how he feels, right? Let's go back. For the last 3 women that you've been with are famous people. Olivia Munn, who is a famous actress who was in X-Men, amongst other things. Then you went to the most famous female driver, or the only female driver. I don't even know if there are any, but she's Danica Patrick, extremely famous, massively famous. So that's going to get a lot of attention. And then you go with a new actress, which honestly I don't even think much of. I don't even know who she is really, but I just know that she's kind of known or whatever. So he wants to be invited to all those eyes wide shut parties, all those weird celebrity parties where they get together and they kidnap some underage kid or something and do unspeakable things to them, and then they all blame it on Harvey Weinstein, right? So he wants to be a part of that crowd, right? But don't write bad things about me. You're making up stuff about me. But I'm going to put my face all over the country. I'm going to go to all those stupid galas and all those stupid Emmy shows and award shows or whatever. I'm going to put my face on Jeopardy, the most well-known game show. Yeah. Good job, Aaron. Way to keep low profile, okay? You sit there and you post all your millennial vacation photos and your little adventures because you're having some kind of midlife crisis, right? You post that for everybody to consume. While you're not speaking to the Green Bay Packers, you didn't say anything. You said nothing. And let me tell you something about the media. If you say nothing, they're going to make up some shit. Okay? They're going to make up some shit even if you say something. But at least if you speak up, you could actually get it to an outlet somewhere, okay, and put it on record. But you say nothing, then people take that to mean that you agree or that it's true, okay? Especially when we know you've got time to do it because you're sitting there doing all kinds of photo ops and Hollywood red carpet walks and things like that. But again, none of that is a problem in itself. The problem is when you're doing all that, but then at the same time you try to say that you're a victim. Oh, I'm a victim. They try to use my fame and my name and all this stuff. I just want to be free. I just want to have fun. I just want to live my life. But yet I stick my stupid, ugly face into every single camera that I can find. I'm on every effing commercial on television right now. I'm in every State Farm commercial. If Patrick Mahomes isn't in it, I'm in it. Okay? That's Aaron Rodgers. But then, don't talk about me. And he goes on Pat McAfee to defend himself, to talk junk. Really? So you go on a blue check mark program to bitch about the blue check marks, but you won't go on any indie show. Okay, make no mistake, Pat McAfee is not indie. Okay, when you're a punter who was teammates with Peyton Manning, who knows Peyton Manning personally, when you've got a massive budget, when you've got AJ Hawk, who is close friends with Aaron Rodgers, and you could get all these people on. That's not indie. I'm sorry, but it's not. It may look indie because he dresses like trash, and they're all a bunch of idiots sitting in a room together. It may look indie, but it's not indie. Okay, it's not the same thing. But he goes on there to where he gets his ass kissed to bitch about all the other guys. Really, was he not aware that Pat McAfee did work for ESPN? He was on Peyton and Eli's show the other night on Monday Night Football. Does he not understand that? So I don't know what Aaron's deal is. And yes, Tom Brady also goes to functions and stuff in the off season because his wife is the most successful supermodel in history. But Tom is not sitting around going, "Oh, poor me. I know I go to these events and I know I get dressed up and I know I'm dating a supermodel, but don't take my picture. Don't talk about me. Don't say this. Let me tell you something. There's a radio station in New England that talked crap about Tom's own daughter. Tom still called in. He still kept his obligation after that. If I was Tom, he's a better man than me. I would have called him and said, listen, dude, y'all are done. You're finished. He kept his media obligation to them, still called them that night, the day. It was a Tuesday, I believe. He does it every Tuesday. And calls them to tell them that I'm thinking about what to do, and I'm very upset with you guys. But then he said he didn't want the guy fired who said it. And then Tom did keep his obligation to that ultimately. And that they talked about his daughter, man. So Tom, again, there's nothing wrong with wanting dating someone famous. There's nothing wrong with being famous, and there's nothing wrong with going to those events and things like that. That's cool stuff, right? There is something wrong with doing it while you're complaining about being famous. Really? That Sorry, but that doesn't work. I prefer the Leonardo DiCaprio viewpoint about being famous, which is when he was asked once, is it a problem being famous? Do you wish that you were never famous? Do you wish you had a regular life? And he goes, are you joking? I get paid millions of dollars to pretend to be fake people that don't exist. There you go. Stop complaining. All right. This guy's Aaron Rodgers is such a douchebag that he tried to get on the whole, there's this whole theme going on right now with athletes and mental health. It's very popular amongst the female athletes, which is probably why Aaron likes it, because he's probably got more estrogen than most women. So he is trying to cash in on that whole all these tennis players when it gets too hot for them, when they can't live up to expectations, they claim mental health. Everybody's mentally ill. Okay, if everybody's so damn mentally ill, then maybe we should start talking to the government, trying to figure out what the hell happened. Because I don't remember so many people had to be mentally ill before. So if it's true, then we need to ask some questions. All right. If it's not true, then people need to shut up and do their job. Okay, you're paid millions of dollars. You're given endorsements. Companies give you millions of dollars because you can handle the pressure. Because you can handle the pressure. That's what you're getting paid to do. All right. If you fold all of the time, and then when you do fold, you blame mental health, well, then any of us can do that. Any of us. We can all do that. All of us. We could take any high paying job. We could, any of us could be anything we wanted to be, take the job and say, oh, well, I fail and I suck at it and I can't handle it because of my mental health. But you still have to pay me millions of dollars. What a great position to be in. So, no, I don't buy it, Aaron. The only mental health problem that you have, dude, is that you're going through an early midlife crisis. That's your problem. Your ego. Your ego, it's so big. And watching him talk on the Pat McAfee show after he said what he said about the media and Pat and all them, I swear they went into an orgy. They were like, "Oh my God!" Like, you guys ever seen the movie Idiocracy? Remember after Luke Wilson is giving that speech and he's just saying like normal words, like everyday normal crap. He's quoting like past presidents and stuff, and the whole crowd is sitting there like they just listened to Nikola Tesla speak. All right. It's like they just listened to Albert Einstein talk about theory of relativity. That is what the idiots at the Pat McAfee show did after Aaron got done talking. Not realizing that they are one of the people or of the group that he's talking about. Okay. Hello. So Aaron talks slowly. He talks deeply. He tries to use words that was on his word of the day toilet paper or the whatever his thesaurus app on his phone came up with for that morning. He talks like that. He makes it sound like whatever he's saying is impactful. He wants you to think that he's a Buddhist, but also into Hindu, but also does Pilates and is also at one with the earth. And when he talks, he wants you to believe that. This douchebag even started his own book club. How douchey is that? Really? His own book club? Okay. That's about the douchiest thing you can do if you're a football player. Come on, man. Really? A book club? Come on. Nothing wrong with a book club. But for you, let's let's calm it down, dude. Let's calm it down. All right. Nobody believes that you're the next Pulitzer Prize winner or a freaking Nobel Prize winner. All right. Nobody thinks that that's coming for you. So calm down. Let's not act like you know. But the Packers fans, Rodgers fans, and especially the people like Chris Sims and Pat McAfee and people like that, they're just eating this up. Like, the, oh my God, it's genius. It's just genius. Really? If you're so damn smart, Aaron, if you know everything and you got everything figured out, then how come you always fail? All right? You always fail every time. It's been how long? 11 years since you've been in a Super Bowl. For what you get paid and for what people say you are, and for having 3 regular season MVPs, don't you think you should have at least appeared in another one by now? Don't you think? So, just curious. If you know everything, if you're so smart, why don't you impart that wisdom that you found? Maybe in Hawaii you met some kind of cave dwelling uh, voodoo master or some crap. I don't know, whatever they're called over there. And maybe he waved a fishbone in your face. All right, and now you woke up like in Office Space where you're like possessed and you think that you could do all these things. Well, all right, use what you learned and give it to your teammates. But you can't do that because you're not a leader. You're not a leader. That's his problem. Okay, rant over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I went off a little crazy there. But he pisses me off. Doesn't he just infuriate you sometimes? Anyway, he just gets under my skin. But it's my job to talk about him. Okay, that's what we do here. That's what this is about. So yeah, well that happens sometimes. A Fields, the rants kind of Mega Steve. Aaron Rodgers is an overrated douchebag. Let's see. Anti Aaron. Nice name. Once Pat signed with WWE, his credibility was lost. Um, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah. Oh, Pickle Dick says, whatever happened to the Aaron Rodgers pedo satanic parties you mentioned at the peak of your rant? I just kind of dropped that in there, didn't I? All right. That's funny. Psycho Mantis, I agree with your uncle. Yeah, well, Brady grew up in California, but he was raised in a good family. he was raised correctly. He wasn't raised specifically like a douchebag, like a lot of them are. You see guys who are either from California or spent a lot of time in California, and they end up being pretty big douchebags, you know. So Tom is but Tom's the exception in almost everything, isn't he? So we shouldn't be surprised. You want me to clarify about Aaron Rodgers' satanic parties? Okay. No, I'm just saying that's what they do here in Hollywood, okay? That's what they do here. That's everybody knows. Everybody knows apparently except the rest of the country. I don't know why or how nobody knows about this stuff, but it's real, So, remember Harvey Weinstein? That was just the tip of the pedo iceberg. He was just a guy that they threw to the wolves, so nobody else gets in trouble. Like he he's just it's like when you find one cockroach, it means that there's a whole family of them somewhere. Okay, he was that one cockroach that you found in the cafeteria at school and killed it and thought that you were good. Okay, that was him and the Epstein guy and all them. That's just one cockroach amongst a whole family of them. It's kind of like politics. So actually, it's quite similar. Yeah, exactly, Freeland. When it comes to the quarterbacks, Brady is the ultimate exception to everything. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to cut off tonight early because that party starts at 7:30 and it's 7:16. Uh, so I need to check my phone to see if people are trying to get in because the way the parking is here is weird. Um, oh, yep. Okay, I got missed calls and stuff. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed that. It happens sometimes. If you guys are long time subscribers here, you know that I can go off on rants occasionally, and that's what it's like living with me too, or being around me for an extended amount of time. Ask anyone who knows me. This happens quite a bit. So just that's the deal. But yeah, so thank you for all the happy birthday wishes, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you to Nightwalker who sent 100 euros to me, two 50 euro super chats, and Elliot, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you guys and all your happy birthday wishes in the comments. Again, I will be at the game tomorrow, so the post game report will not be until later in the evening after the Sunday night game. So, all right. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night. And hopefully, it's with big news. Patriots and Bucks win. Let's go! Hell yeah! Let's do it. Good night, guys.